Hello, everybody. Welcome to a critically average adventure, and welcome to this one that we're going to call the Stitch in the Fae. It's a D&D 5e campaign that I'm playing with my friends, and these are my friends. Hi, everybody. Welcome back after oldies have been dying, and we've had a week's break. So, and we're back then. So we're hobbling and sniffling and poking our way through a game here with you. When last we saw our individual people, not even really a party yet, our characters. They had each of them taken a journey, an underground train journey on the back of a giant purple worm beneath the desert of the Half Expanse. They were traveling along, and passengers were dropped off along the way on this journey, and they were, for whatever reason, various reasons in fact, traveling to the forest of Gargamel. You to find Tobias here to discover and try and find their old companion Nana Fu. Baku on the hunt for work, maybe hire as mercenary to train up and maybe once get revenge, or at least comeuppance with his home tribe, and Nan with a newfound knowledge when merged with her magically removed other half of her personality psyche, and then Cramlin, who is trying to just make some lattes
and get all the biscuits.
Biscuits and lattes. Yeah, Cramlin's craving for biscuits and lattes. Maybe the ultimate biscuit exists in Gargamel. You're not quite sure. The ultimate biscuit. And we had a night on the train, and then a murder.
A what?
A murder. There was a murder upon the train. Crime had been committed, and you were not witness to it, but it had happened in the night, and things were starting to kick off a bit. There was some sort of tension in the kitchen between
shit was getting real
between our pot washer Lenny and Vol. There was an elven couple. There was the train driver and the train manager that you'd met, and things were just getting a bit strange. There were little clues and little pointers here and there. But before we start, there is one very important question that I didn't ask when we were all gathered together in the crew compartment, where there are bunks and chests and things for storing the crew's gear. Now, Nan, it's for you. You're on mute, sorry.
Yes.
Nan, when you were gathered round with the folks in there, you were the one to retrieve the knife from the scene of the crime. Now, did you show everyone in that room that knife, or had you stowed it about your person?
If I remember correctly, I had picked it up with a cloth to try and I'd wrapped it kind of, or was holding it in some kind of spare amount of cloth, so that one, I wasn't touching it, and I was trying to maintain its state.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on the floor underneath the table of the
It looked like it had been removed and then dropped.
And I think the people in the room at the time, I remember saying that I found it around Cramlin, around Baku, Tobias. I think that it also might have been the elven couple, possibly. I don't think at that point they would have gone to your biscuit bunk.
That's where they must wait.
But I don't know whether they were, because I think it kind of felt like it was, I'd left the carriage where I'd found the knife, and I was kind of intercepting the party way to the kitchens, and then go to the we want to go to the stable area.
Yeah, it's very important. Did you show either of those two elves the knife? Do you think? Would you have shown them that in the heightened state that May was?
I don't think I showed it to them, but I wasn't trying to hide it, and so that they if they had come over and had a look, I wouldn't have stopped them.
They won't have done. They are.
What didn't the one elf guy look at it because it had a specific symbol on it? And either I or the elven guy recognize the symbol.
You recognized it for what it was. That was just as soon as you picked it up. Okay, you recognized it for being a blade of Enshapar, House Enshapar, or Mar Enshapar.
Yes.
Which are the horse trade? Mar Palathon, which are the horse folk, the trainers of beast and that kind of stuff. So at the moment, we're kind of zooming in at the moment, and we'll go into that kind of carriage where you are. Mayne is kind of sat on the biscuit bunk, and and Quill is kind of trying to bring some semblance of calm to his betrothed. Don't worry, my dear. It's fine. It was so terrible. Oh, a dead body on the. Don't worry. We'll be perfectly fine. The train manager will have it under control. Yes, I mean, everything is perfectly fine. I mean, it's... Well, yeah, we're not going anywhere until we find who it is. We can't move on. Can't take a killer elsewhere. We must discover who is the murderer aboard this ship, and why is that poor gnome woman dead?
Well, yes, we found a note, didn't we, as well?
That
was translated.
Yeah, we translated the note.
But we did that in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's why we went to the kitchen.
Yeah. And then we took them to the bunk.
Then we went to the bunk, and now we need to go to the stables.
We're heading to investigate where this knife was supposedly or possibly procured from. You just stay here, make yourselves as comfortable as possible. It's unlikely you'll be going anywhere, and we will try and find out what happened.
I think that's best. My legs feel a bit. Oh, my stomach's a bit. Oh. Yeah, I'll just stay here with Quill. You'll look after me, won't you, Quill? Well, of course, my dear. I'll take care of you. And maybe we could have. I think someone fetched some water, didn't they, at some point? And there was some glasses fetched by Vol. Hence, Lenny was able to take control in the kitchen and make a fabulous breakfast. And watching Lenny no longer angrily scrub a pot was a joy to watch. If you remember, Nan, artistic ballet in culinary form. What are the rest of you doing? So Nan said that to the kind of general room.
Mr. Spin.
Sorry, who did you say it to? Sorry, the door was shut.
Mr. Spin.
Yes.
We are not moving.
No.
Oh. How much air do we have?
We should have plenty for a few hours. We may need to surface nearby, but I shall make sure that we surface in somewhere that is non-escapable. We shall move to the middle of the desert. I don't want people just running off and possibly our criminal getting away.
Okay, but I don't want to go to the middle of the desert, so let's get this done. Yes?
I would be most appreciative of any help. This enterprise is reasonably new, but becoming rather profitable, as you might imagine, for the increased speed and travel, and certainly with the increased traffic that we've had of late.
Okay, so we should go, yes?
Very well. I shall lock the door to the compartments here, the 4 compartments, the driver's cabin and the staff compartments.
Will Cramlin have key?
You are a trusted member of this. He's trying to say of this train crew. Yes, you can have a key.
Excellent.
Now,
Cramlin.
hands a key to Cramlin.
Cramlin snatches the key. Try not to die.
I wish you the same, Cramlin. And then we must talk about the when this is all resolved. We need to have a little sit down and talk about
appraisal for Cramlin.
About what? Sorry, Cramlin?
Appraisal.
Yes, we shall be appraising your work. Also appraising where the money is going.
Excellent. Pay raise.
Before or while these conversations are happening, can
Yes.
I approach? Oh, I took notes and everything. Can I can't remember the elves' names.
You've got Quill, who's the man, and Mayene, who is the female.
Well, man. Why do I even bother taking notes if I can't read them?
Insult my handwriting.
What is Quill is the man, and what is it? May?
Yeah, Maeen.
Yeah, go Lackey, and he's being noisy. I just want to kind of approach the main and she's doing a lot of complaining that she feels poorly. So I want to like, is it okay if I just check you over and just make sure that you're gonna be okay for a while, and I kind of maybe want a medicine check, but also insight while I do it, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I have those in order. So then the medicine first. So as you start sort of just checking like pulse, temperature, that kind of thing.
10.
Okay.
And then the insight is more like, is she playing it up to be? Is she like egging it?
Egging it.
Over egging.
Yeah, over egging. Okay, fine. Yeah, go for it. So let's have the insight. And I'll tell you kind of together.
16.
Oh, lovely. So on the medicine, you kind of like give it a once over and you kind of just check the muscles and temperature and pulse. Pulse is fast, and as you expected in a traumatic situation like this, that everything's a little bit raised and she feels a bit clammy to the touch. That kind of panic sweat has set on. What you get from the 16 on the insight check is that they are definitely afraid and confused by the situation. You feel like their wonderful honeymoon might have been, or like this kind of courting period, not really because they're not married yet, has been severely ruined for them. What they might be playing up to is to get the attention of Quill. To kind of play into that role of being the helpless one.
I see.
Yeah, the damsel in distress. Perfect. That's it, Tobias.
Yeah. You're panicked, but you'll be okay. Take some deep breaths, drink the water, and rely on your husband here. Your husband unlikely to leave your side, right?
No, we are betrothed.
Yes.
You won't leave me, will you? No, my dear. I shall stay by your side, and we'll be safe, and we'll be protected. There's an ogre at the front as well. I'm sure he can swing a punch or two.
James is drawing the most magnificent picture of Cramlin. It's ridiculous. What is he doing?
Tobias, what do you do? You're in this room. You've kind of had a lovely breakfast. Yes. And how does Tobias kind of, because you're not bothered about the body, Nora's back. Like you're seemingly not shocked by the body at all. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, Tobias.
What have we done?
What have you done?
What have I done? What do you mean, what have I done?
You've left something behind.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'll just remind you of it now, and that dawn of realization. How does that play out on Tobias's face?
Oh no! Is that kind of when he realizes that he hasn't got anything in his hands? He's like, and he doesn't care about the conversation that's going on about anybody else in there. He just spins and goes just quickly back to the carriage. It's like
The passenger carriage.
yeah, where he was. He's like,
Okay, and you're just solely looking for your
Yeah.
your glass container.
Me glass container.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody else, you just suddenly see Tobias stand up, spin on the spot, and charge through the cabins, jumping through the kitchen.
No.
Well, I'm going to follow as soon as I see that, because that seems more interesting than what's going on in here. So I'm going to go see what that's about.
And the rest of you.
I will also follow because I'm making the assumption that Tobias has remembered a vital clue.
And Cramlin.
Cramlin follows and locks the door behind them.
Is there a bathroom in there?
They wanted the door locked.
Well, I guess there's like a little. What's the thing? Like a
Think.
bedpan type.
Yeah,
affair.
bedpan type situation going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Cramlin, bedpan.
Commode.
Oh,
Commode.
Cramlin's bedpan.
Cramlin. Well, I'm more worried about Tobias's bedpan actually.
Biscuit crumbs in it.
It's just full of biscuits. It's all full of biscuits.
It's stowed in every possible container that there is.
Every crack and crack.
Why is there milk in this bedpan? Or why is there yogurt in this bedpan? Well, it used to be milk.
Right, you charge back into the central carriage, and you see happily strapped in, perfectly safe, is your little glass box. It's fine. It seems okay, Tobias.
This isn't okay.
What are you
This is
struggling
stressing
with?
me out because there's too much stuff. Sorry.
Well, you brought all this stuff over.
I know, but I'm used to having a table to sit things on, and we haven't got a table to sit things on, and it's stressing me out.
Right. So, Tobias,
Sorry.
what do you do with your item?
Yeah. So I like, because I've like made a kind of seat belt for it, haven't I?
Yeah.
So I unstrap it and I pick it up and I check it over and make sure it's okay. And then it's just like this massive sigh of relief.
Yeah.
It's okay. And then I turn around and see that people have followed me and I'm just like just kind of looking around like
Yeah, you kind of just
confused as to why they followed me. I'm like,
yeah, just turn back and look at them like. So yeah, you see Tobias holding this glass thing with the what they see sort of like a few plants inside it. Is that right? Like
so there's like it. The way I describe it, it's kind of like a little like Japanese style garden.
Yeah.
So there's like a little like hut house.
Oh, okay.
With like a little pond and some trees. And
Oh.
Toby, you stink. Go away. Go away, you smelly old man.
He's gone.
But yeah, so it's like a Japanese style garden with like a little pond, a little house, and little trees, and little like shrubs.
Okay.
And tiny little like flowers on the water. And
Yeah.
odd little bits of colour throughout.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, well, as you walk into this, can passive perception pick up on pretty much all of you?
Passive.
Your passive perception would pick it up. Everybody would kind of walk back into this space.
The body's gone.
And the body is gone.
we've only just so we went to the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
and the chefs were there. Well, so we saw the body, we went to the kitchen to get the note translated, and then we went to your quarters, which was a different direction.
Still in the same direction. It was all that way.
But it branched off at some point. So
Well, it's
and
a train. It's all a big tube.
Oh yeah, I guess. So it would have gone. We would have gone through the bit with the passenger back from the kitchen to see Cramlin's.
It goes. I'll give you the order again. Driver's cab is at the very front. Then you've
Right.
got.
Then
You've got. Yeah.
Ah.
And so the cabin was here, and we went all the way along here.
Right, and that's where your bed is.
No, that's the front. Bed is in there. Then it's the kitchen. Then it's the thing. The cabin.
Right. Oh,
And
okay.
the stables are at the back, and then there's something else at the back, which is just a scribble.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Sorry again. Go again.
Is the thing at the back? Is that the cargo?
Yeah, cargo and animal stowage area for the place. And Tobias, you actually saw 2 horses being led into that whilst boarding the train. As you were kind of last on being careful with your glass container.
Because there was a lot
Getting
of
on.
people. And I didn't.
But yeah, no body is there.
Cramlin just looks at the empty space where the body went and goes, "Body has moved, murder clearly solved, not dead."
Very good. I'm going to lean over and just actually put my hands where the body was to make sure it is actually empty space.
You put your hands down and you stroke it over, and it's just a kind of woven seat fabric. You move your hand, there's a little bit of blood spatter there that you pick up on your hands. Some of the blood that has dripped down through this individual, but there was nothing in that space, if that's what you're trying to investigate.
Yeah. And the belongings and everything they had with them?
The suitcase is up above. You saw when they came in, there was kind of like a stowage up above for that. There was some other trunks moved onto the back. They had a small bag with them. But everything that they had, like clothing wise, is not there either. So the clothes are gone, the body is gone.
But the suitcase is still there and the little bag's on the table?
The little bag is on the table because you remember they filled up that space.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
spread out, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they did. Yeah,
But I mean, it's still there now. It's only the body
yeah.
that's... Yeah.
Yeah, that's still there.
Okay.
Is there any blood anywhere else around like, apart from where they were sat?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any blood anywhere else that could maybe show us what direction the body moved in,
You can
or
make
was
a
moved in?
you can make a tracking thing, which will be survival. You can make a survival check to
Oh,
track
gee.
where they've gone. Where it might be moved. You're quite good at this, I think, aren't you?
I forgot I wasn't Killian. I was like, oh no, Killian is not good at
I think you're all right at tracking, aren't you?
it.
And survival and stuff. You're a hefty boy. You survived a long while.
I'll help you.
Oh, an assist advantage. But you would have to discuss what you're doing for that to be obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would Tobias communicate this?
Oh, he's not very good with words, is he? Bless him.
No, he's not.
Would he simply point?
he would kind of point at the floor and go, the blood?
Yeah.
And kind of look round, like point kind of on the floor and
Try and follow the dots. Okay. And
Yeah.
Nan, you look down and see this and start tracking it
Okay.
down. So yeah, an advantage then. Don't need it. Because the first roll of the game is a natural 20.
so 24.
24. Well done, Tobias. Look at
Maybe
that.
exactly where the-
Smashing. You are the smartest barbarian. You,
When it comes to things like this, he's not too bad.
you pick up that the trail looks like it leads back to the kitchen.
Oh well, are you gonna? Yeah, sorry, Tobias. Do you wanna? You noticed that? I don't want to.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm putting them away before I drop them everywhere because I will. Yeah, so I kind of follow it with my finger, because my other hand is kind of
Yeah.
clutching the thing. I'm like, and I follow it. Standing still though, I just point out the trail like this, so you can see my arms raising
Yeah.
up.
Each of you are directed towards this trail of blood, and then each of you kind of pick up and get what Tobias is communicating in his simple form. That
Very
the trail leads back to the kitchen.
Pardon me.
Cramlin, you have the key for this?
The door is on the far side of the kitchen compartment. That
So
opens
we
up.
can walk. Okay.
So
Yeah,
we
you
can
can walk
go
into the
through it.
kitchen. It's not locked.
But the door is shut
To the kitchen.
to the kitchen.
Oh, we're at the kitchen now.
The door is. Cramlin has immediately become a massive coward and does not want to open the door.
But it's not.
It's not locked.
No, that is not to that compartment.
When we walked through the kitchen to get here, was there anyone in it still?
I think in the haste, what's your passive perceptions, everybody? Quickly, bottom of your first page. If you
11.
Whoa, Cramlin.
19.
Jeez.
Perception.
passive perception,
Yeah, 14.
14. Cramlin would have probably noticed it, but thought maybe not. You did see someone in those. You kind of dashed through. Lenny was in there.
Friend.
Friend Lenny, look out. Cramlin barges past and opens the door and just swings it open. Lenny, is there the body in here?
Yeah, I've got it here, Cramlin.
Lenny, put body down. Is it down?
I've got it. It's in the sink.
Why? Body not go in sink, Lenny.
Why? Why?
Biscuits and dishes go in sink, Lenny. Silly.
I'm looking over Cramlin's shoulder to see what the hell is going on.
You can sort of see just the gnome's legs and the hair sticking up, and it's like been put in the sink, like folded in the sink. It was dripping everywhere.
Sorry. Say, is there like one of those food mincers in the sink?
This is medieval fantasy. Oh,
We're on a
We're on a
worm.
worm train.
unless it's enchanted, like garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Well,
They've got an
well, if the heads
artificer.
and the legs are rotating like that, we know it's in trouble.
No, there was no movement apparently from the body. It's putting it. It was dripping everywhere, Cramlin, making a mess of the fabrics.
Why?
Look after the fabrics, Lenny. Expensive.
Exactly. We're on the train looking proper, tip top. You know, you're still running the thing. I'm the chef now. Brilliant.
In it together, Lenny.
Yeah.
Cramlin goes over and just pokes the body in the sink. Why in sink though?
I can just rinse any residues away.
Why would rinse residue? Only blood comes out.
Yeah, there's other substances once a body passes, Cramlin.
This is true. Yes. It's best not to think about it, Cramlin.
Cramlin thinks about it and shuts up.
there's a moment. Oh. There's a moment of tick, and it just clicks with Cramlin.
Let's not think about it, Austin. um, I mean, Lenny, it would have been probably a good idea to let your intentions be known. We are trying to find out how this happened so that we can get back.
I didn't want to interrupt your breakfast with a dead body. It's not, well, it's not really what you want to be seeing while you're eating a runny egg.
Understood. I agree. Though, Lenny, we do not move it again. Maybe keep it in the sink.
Yeah.
Let's not move it anymore.
I was thinking about
Okay, sure, no problem.
Worm eggs. You were thinking about worm eggs, were you? Like everything's worm flavored. We still need to like plan out the whole worm food.
The factory. It's part of the factory that we played in that Troika games.
Oh,
Someone
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
someone back in that game of Troika with the
Yeah.
bug juice and stuff.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, folks? Sorry.
Should we all head to the stable? It's that way down further, and we should try and understand where this knife may have come from.
Yes, come on, let's go.
Before they leave, or as they all leave to go around the thing, can Cramlin turn back to Lenny and ask him a question?
Mm-hmm. So everyone starts pottering that way. I'm guessing you're going to buy, so no one was saying that you are. Yeah, Cramlin, please do. Are you asking this quietly?
Yes. Cramlin just kind of sidles over and just kind of pokes the body and goes, Lenny,
Yeah.
oh, you didn't kill Gnome, Lenny.
I didn't kill the gnome.
Good.
You can insight check him if you
Can I insight check him for that?
You can.
I forget that there's actually a game involved.
You just want to talk to imaginary friends. It's good.
Yeah, I want to talk to my friends.
James did say that his favorite part of a lot of the games is just Pete's voices and Pete having conversations with himself.
One of my favourite things.
It's not a good insight check.
Well, you've got a good modifier.
+6. That's still only a 9.
It's when you're
You
like
get
characters.
your warmth to Lenny grows more. You think, good old Lenny. He's just tidying up, looking after his business interests, and that kind of thing. Yeah, there's two characters that I try not to have in the same room in the fragments because they're very not difficult, but like strange to switch between, and these guys are bastards, so they always try and make them have a conversation, and so I made it that one of them has a problem with the other one, so that but still you still force them to talk.
I still make you do it, and it makes me very happy. And
you're in a different city now, so you're not even in the city, so you
I
can't.
love it.
Yeah, Lenny is convincing to you, and you
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Cramlin wanted to hear. Cramlin kind of like opens up a cupboard and just takes out a worm wine and just gives it to Lenny, even though Lenny knew exactly where that was. And says,
thanks, Cramlin. It's appreciated. We'll share this
body
together.
clean.
What's that? Clean the body?
Keep it clean.
I will.
Don't get the blood on the oven.
No. I wouldn't. I'm just going to clean it up and like we would.
Don't make it naked. Keep clothes.
Oh. You want me to clean it inside its clothes?
You know what to do, Lenny. And then Cramlin leaves.
Lenny, as you leave, Lenny's like processes it. I know what to do. Cramlin has faith in me. I know what to do.
I want to watch like Cramlin and Lenny adventures. That's all I want now, like the Saturday morning cartoon.
It's what everyone needs in their lives.
You proceed through the carriage. and you pass the places where you were sitting. You pass the bags and everything that's strewn on the table, and your luggages and the seats, and you eventually reach a kind of a wooden panel door towards the back of the cart, to the back of this section of the train, this door bars you from moving into the next section. What would you like to do? Or how would you like to think about it?
Is it obvious how it opens?
There's a kind of
Just regular.
yeah, like almost like one of those kind of style type,
Yeah.
like a woodland, like a footpath kind of gate that's got a metal bar that lifts up,
Yeah.
and seems to allow access.
If everyone's fairly close behind me, I'll just open it and walk straight through.
Mm-hmm. You open the door, and it kind of opens and then kind of lifts a little bit and then slides back into the wall. So it's kind of seamlessly accessible, this one, maybe because of access reasons. And you walk into this section and it's piled with only a few pieces of luggage now left on this, as most of the people had got off. And not many people were traveling this way. The majority of the travel was towards Tantalib, away from Gargamel. And you walk through, and then you can see that there's some dividers with low gates, and you hear the whinnying of a horse in the distance beyond, but you can't quite see into these like the individual stables that there are in there. And you do notice straight away that kind of smell in the air of hay, and you can see that it's strewn and kind of in this area. It's not been very well contained. It's kind of slipped out.
Are there any people about?
You can make a perception check to see if you hear anybody.
I do. I'm gonna speak with that horse.
Perception 13.
13. They're not hiding, and you kind of just hear behind the whinnying of a horse, and you hear this voice like saying, "It's okay, don't worry, it'll be fine." No, it's not like that. Don't worry, come back for you. It'll be all right. It's gonna be all right.
Hello.
Hello.
Who is there,
Hello?
please? Yes. Hello. Who are you?
And then you see kind of a head kind of poke around one of the stalls. I'm Liana.
Horse person.
Yeah, Liana of Marpellathon.
Ah, okay. You noticed we stopped, yes?
Yeah. It's what's happening?
You don't know?
No, I haven't left the horses. They've been behaving strangely since we got on board.
Okay, can I check if I believe that?
Yes, an insight check for that.
$17.
You believe that she doesn't know what's going on, and you definitely believe that she's concerned about the horses.
Horse welfare. Okay.
The horses being.
What was her name?
Liana. Lena. Lenana, sorry.
Lenana.
Nana,
Banana
like a banana.
horse.
Nana.
Does Cramlin know Leman?
Diana.
Diana. Not a name, clearly.
No, you know her as a passenger. You've seen them on this route before. You don't know them personally. They're not employed by the train or by the underground. They are an independent body using the service of transport.
Okay. How far away is she? Roughly?
Maybe 10 feet.
Oh, okay. I'll just walk up then.
to a gate. They're behind this low gate, and then that gate can kind of open and
Okay.
into the sort of small area where there's two beautiful horses. And don't ask me to remember what they were patterned like. One was patterned like Toby, like black with white spots, and I think one was a sort of white with black spots, and one was a kind of chestnut brown kind of colour. I
Okay.
think.
Sound.
Yeah, and there's these two kind of horses like as you kind of come in, the unfamiliar smell, the unfamiliar presence, and the little bit of a sort of tramping of the hooves on the
And approximately this much fire quite close to them. I might not like
yeah
that as
yeah
well,
yeah
by the
yeah
way.
yeah Mm.
Yeah. So, Lenana, passenger has been killed. Yes.
Murdered. Cramlin just shells from the back.
We don't know yet. I mean,
How? When?
How with a knife here when? Yeah.
Night
in the-
time.
yes.
Why you slept? I didn't sleep much at all. They've been so strange. And she like runs the hand down the flank. They run the hand down the flank and pat and try and let them kind of do that kind of almost like chomping thing on her hand, where they're just kind of the lips are kind of like just round her hand, like comforting, almost like a pacifier type thing. Yeah, just gnawing on the hand gently. I've been so strange.
So we're in a hole under the ground. Maybe it's also the person who kills the gnome is still here. We need to find the person. Have you seen a person?
I've not left the compartment here at all.
Has anyone come into the compartment?
Not that I noticed. No.
Does this go further this way? Or is this the
Just to
last
the-
one?
she shows you further through, gently past the horses who are uncomfortable, and you see that there is like some hay storage, a couple of barrels of water, and then it's the back of the tray. And she kind of just says, "You can't open this door when we're under. The earth will spill in from where it's disturbed.
Okay.
You're not allowed to open it unless you're out in the sunlight."
So we have walked the entire length of the train now, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we can't get into the cargo.
The cargo is this section goes cargo and stable together.
Right.
So you kind of walk through the two racks either side here, and then there's the stabling beyond.
Okay, I've got 2 questions, but please carry on if you're with what you were up to, Baku.
No, Baku's in chin stroking and looking around mode at the moment.
Yes,
My first question is to the DM and actually to the team as well, because I don't know whether I'm fabricating this, but is there, so DM question, are the horses stables like straw covered? Is there
Yes.
hay and straw?
Yes, there is.
Am I what's the word, like completely making up the fact that there was some straw in the kitchen at one point, like
Embedded into
the one with
the
eyes?
shape changing guy.
Yeah, the blob.
Well, had bits of straw and or hay on him, in him.
I was just going to ask that as well, because I was like, am I confusing it with something else?
Right, I was
I'm
like,
glad I'm not the only one.
What you saw when you kind of met him, like items and spatulas kind of like flowing through him to fry something here, and then another appendage growing here, but all on the kind of outside, or what would be considered part of his outer sort of membrane, which is as adhesive of some sort of like kind of sticky kind of thing. And you saw that they were stuck to like bits of hay and things.
My second thing is I'm not going to go too close to the horses because I want to associate myself with the person that they trust first. So I'm going to slowly approach
Lenana.
Lenana. Right down. Lenana. Is she in a relation to Lenny? Lenana, Lenny.
That's not how relationships work. You
Yeah.
don't just find people with similar sounding names.
Yes, it is no. It's
Ah,
not.
right.
If they both begin with
Shut
L.
up. Anyway, Lenana, the reason that we come back here, well, I mean, among many reasons of making sure we check, is the implement used to kill this gnome was a knife commonly used to care for horses and their hooves. Did you bring implements with you when you boarded? Were there any others that would have brought similar, and are you missing anything?
Yeah, you have my knife.
Ah, yes, we do. It's here. It's preserved in the state that it was removed from the gnome, so it might not be in the best condition. And forgive me if I don't hand it over straight away.
Can I see it just to make sure it's mine?
I will very cautiously, if she makes like any sudden movements to like take it, not that she's really going anywhere, I guess, I will kind of pull it away. But yes, I will show.
Can you describe how you hold it?
It's wrapped in sort of like a reasonable amount of cloth. I guess I'm going to try and keep a good grip on whatever the hilt is, because I assume that that's going to be least bloody, and kind of hold up, but pointed down, not pointed at. So hilt kind of pointing towards me and downwards.
Their hands shoot towards you instantaneously, but then across a few centimeters above the blade. And their hands kind of tremble, and they lean back. That's mine.
And
That's my blade. Definitely. Can feel it.
Feel it? Is that something arcane in nature?
We forge our own blades. When we're young, when we're learning our ways of looking after the beasts. Each knife is part ritual, part smithing, and we're sort of bonded to it in a way.
I see.
Would you not notice if someone takes it away?
I did. The horses needed me more.
When did you notice this happening?
I'm not very good with the cities. It doesn't serve me well. Had it when we left the stablings in the city, got to the platform, boarded, was waiting on the platform, saw the two of them, saw this one, and then got on board. The earth went everywhere, and then it was gone.
It left then, or you noticed then?
I noticed getting the horses in was such a struggle. They just normally I'm normally really good with animals. And these two, well, I've known since foals. But getting them on board this time, I don't know. It's like they've said it. They sense something.
Hmm.
Well, perhaps we can find out something from them. Do you have any of their favorite snacks? Did you have a particular way that you signal trust? I might speak with your horses if that is okay with you.
Do they like biscuits? Got biscuits.
They like these. She hands you these kind of like a handful of little like almost like little chestnut type looking things, like a groundnut kind of thing. Brown outer shell and sort of flakes away on the edges.
Will you introduce me to them?
Sure. And she.
I'll get right out of the way while this is happening. Just
Mhm.
I'll go and stand up by the door to the passenger carriage just to get out of the way of it.
and
Cramlin
she-
is very interested in what's going on and is like following Nan like this. Mostly wants the nut.
And then maybe another time you can experiment with the nuts in some biscuits, but right now,
Ask the horses what they fear.
of course, Cramlin.
Cramlin just slinks away.
Cramlin, perhaps would you mind maybe asking Baku and Tobias? Maybe perhaps you could check the stable areas and the straw. It might be worth having a. Okay, are you listening? Okay, I do pay attention to eyes just drifting apart, separate directions.
Crown is just trying to take in everything that he can steal. Yeah.
Spinning around like a chameleon. Why do you? I love Cramlin so much. But I'm so distracted.
Such a funny character.
Could you check the different straw areas, maybe?
Under the stables, we will check.
Thank you.
Sure.
Come.
We'll go with
Go on.
Nan's bit first here then. Nan, you walk over with Lenana and she says she kind of introduces you to the spotted and the white with black spot one, and she says this is Mist,
Missed.
and the one over there that's Set.
Okay. Who seems the most of the horses? Who seems the most sort of settled and the most agitated?
Mist is the one that's champing, and the Who's are digging at the straw and things like that. Set has got that kind of almost like still watchfulness that you get from a wild animal or from any animal that is just on alert.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's agitated, the other one's kind of the guarder, the one on guard.
Sure. Let me maybe just wait until the beast is sated,
Oh no.
and then we'll talk. Are you feeding them?
Fed him.
He's already been
Um,
fed.
Yeah, he's already been fed. Tofu is outside being fed now.
Why does he think that he's getting more?
Because Tofu is half an hour late for his dinner, and now Aki wants his second dinner.
Okay, I'm going to so I'll cast Speak with Animals, which is a first level spell. 10 minutes I've got. Limited by their intelligence. Okay. Hello, Mist. Hello, Set. I hope to understand a little of what you may have seen. We are trying to get ourselves back on course for our destination and something terrible has happened, I do not want to worry you further, as I sort of hold out
Mhm.
nuts. Chestnut.
We'll turn the ear and kind of turn the head slightly, but then go back to that kind of watchfulness. Mist is kind of will come over, and the mouth goes over the food again and does that thing. It's more about the contact, we think, rather than the actual food. The food is not the craving; it's that reassurance, that needing to be touched and reassured, and it communicates to you. We are afraid.
Could you tell me why?
There is a smell, a scent, a prickling of the mane. Like spiders crawl up my spine.
Since you boarded the moving space, or since before?
As soon as the door opened,
I see.
we would not go. We did not want to go. Did not want to be in the space.
What was it the smell, like a food type smell, a machinery type smell, an animal type smell? Is there a way of describing it?
An animal we have never smelled.
Animal we have never smelled. Or a humanoid?
We don't know.
I see. Your kind friend lost something very dear to them as they were about to get on this moving space. They didn't see much of what happened, but perhaps you might have seen or heard or sensed anything. Did anyone take something from your good friend, Nana?
Bends the hooves with the blade.
Yes.
Close to us on the platform was the ones who ride. One point, then moved away.
I see.
The Nana likes how one of them smells.
One of the two people that were, or one of the people that were close and then moved away.
Yeah.
I see.
She changes. She smells different when she's near.
I see. A friend of Lenana's? They know them?
They know. The Nana knows.
Was that a yes? Sorry, Aki's.
Lenana knows, they said.
Lenana.
Lenana knows them. Lenana changes.
Lenana changes?
Yeah. Lenana smells different.
I know this might be a strange question, but is Lenana the same Lenana as you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Lenana changes when the other one comes close. Lenana
see.
smells different.
Interesting.
Seems different. Stands different.
Afraid?
If a smile would appear on a horse's face, it does. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Likes the other one.
I see.
Pacified with a donut.
Okay.
You have no idea.
I don't know if you want to move to the rest of the effects while I think and see
Yeah,
if
sure.
there's any.
Baku and Tobias, you were kind of okay. Sorry, Baku, because mid donut. Could you please make? I think there was a suggestion of looking around in the hay and stuff. What? I don't know quite what you want to be looking for. And you tell me if there's something.
Well, I'm not going to be at the horse end because I don't want to spook the horses, which it looks like I might have done.
Mhm.
So I'll stay in the cargo end.
Mhm.
Is there still straw on the floor here as well?
It's kind of where it's been walked up to the door.
There isn't supposed to be, but there's bits.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll kick that about just in case it's hiding anything.
Mhm.
And once I've done that, none of us who got on actually brought much stuff with us, did we? We all put what we were carrying was with us in a passenger compartment.
It was indeed.
So the only cargo that's left here, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what Back is thinking. The cases and stuff that's left here probably belongs to the gnome. So let's have a look in it.
Sorry, and the elf.
And the two elves.
And the elves. Okay. Can I tell by looking at the luggage whose is whose?
You can probably tell from the elaborateness of the elven stuff and the more practical sort of design of the gnomish stuff. I mean, they're all functional travelwear, but the elven one has got that elaborate kind of etchings and stuff on it. Yeah, there is a case. Yeah, there is a case that you think could very well be these gnomes. There's two kind of elven looking ones, and then there's one other one.
I'll leave the elven ones for now and have a look at what I'm presuming is the gnome case.
It appears to be locked when you kind of go to open it.
Okay, what's it made of?
It is like a wooden like wooden reinforced round, from what you can tell on the outside, and like a kind of maybe a leather or something tanned and then solidified, something maybe in a resin.
Okay, so it's quite hard. It's not just like leather. My big friend.
Huh?
Can you open this?
Huh?
You wander over. Strength check, please, or strength athletics if you'd like to, because you might be proficient. I believe you are.
I believe I am too.
Oh, this is where we get a full Tobias.
27.
27. There was no, the lock does no longer exist. Whatever locking mechanism is far gone, and it's open in seconds. It's like
It was just, like it was like opening a book.
Yeah.
Just like
Baku's doesn't like. Okay. I'll have a look, see what there is.
You take your time looking through. Then this peculiar sensation, like you're kind of looking through like the clothes and stuff. You think you hear something talking
from inside the case. Tobias? Can you hear a voice? Not mine, another voice in the case.
Tobias will literally just put his head like right over the case, so his ears right over it. Like
as you put your ear closer, that close, you hear, "Are you there? Hey, are you there?"
Ah. Ah.
Wake up. You're moaning in your sleep again.
Don't moan.
Who is this?
Who is this?
Silence.
Right. Everything's coming out of the case until I see something that looks like it talks.
You go through and you find just like clothes and stuff, and then you find a very, very smooth pebble.
Okay. Is there anything apart from the fact that it might have just spoken to me? Is there anything unusual about it? Is it weird
There is-
material or?
Yeah, it kind of, as you pick it up, it feels like a little bit kind of staticky, like when you kind of feel something that's magical. You've been around magical things before, and you'll kind of pick it up, and it has that kind of almost like it's giving you pins and needles just a little bit in the ends of the fingertips.
Can I make an Arcana check to see what that is?
You may do that.
Good job Tobias didn't find it. He would have been like, bite it.
Bite the talking stone.
Bite it.
19.
Oh yeah, you know immediately what this is. You've seen one before, in fact. It's a sending stone, one of a pair.
Okay, so this is
Functions like a walkie-talkie.
magic walkie-talkie.
Indeed.
Okay. And as a pair, so presumably they're linked.
Bonded.
You don't. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'll just look at Tobias and go like that. And then I will find out of the clothes and stuff the most sound deadening looking material I can find, and I will wrap quite a few layers around this thing.
There's a kind of a felt, what's it called? Like almost like a cape, the top part of a cape with a hood that you think is quite thick, and you bind that round. It's made of a thick green felt, and you kind of wrap it and wrap it and wrap it, and then you have it as deadened as you think you can possibly do it.
Okay. The rest of the case looks normal.
Mundane. Yeah, mundane.
Okay.
Just as a case would look, yeah.
Right. I'm not going to interrupt Nan while they're working, so I will just keep that in one hand, do another to Tobias, and then I'll wait for them to be finished at that end.
Okay, Nan.
Sorcerer and barbarians are such like a wonderful sort of like pair working together, because it's like the ultimate squishies versus like the ultimate and the ultimate tanks.
It's the only way I get a mecha suit.
Strapped onto the front of Tobias.
Although I guess like sorcerers tend to have high con, but anyway. I'm struggling to think of any other questions to ask these horses. It seems like, oh, did a strange shaped person come in here, clear, see-through, like, what color is what's his name, the other guy?
It's
Not
blue.
Lenny. Yeah, blue.
Vol, he's blue. He's like toothpaste.
I don't know whether horses can see blue, but right.
Or know what toothpaste is.
Or horse toothpaste.
You see, they have excellent gum health.
Did you see or hear a well, I don't know what he would sound like or they would sound like, but did you see a strange person come in here? And
The wet one.
yes, the wet one. Yeah, sticky. Wet.
Yeah, he comes in. He sits on set sometimes. Their Nana shows him how to sit properly.
But banana.
Lenana.
Banana.
Banana.
Who's banana? Lenana
Pure
Shows him
flight
what?
confusion then. Banana.
Banana.
The Nana shows him how to sit properly.
On yourselves?
On set. He prefers set.
Does Lenana like Vol? Happy around Vol?
Yes.
Smells different? Smells different? Same smell?
Vol is strange smelling. But Vol is okay.
Okay.
Vol wants to ride.
Okay. Oh. Well, we know what Vol wants to do with his life now, I guess. I see.
Vol craves the open plains.
mm, um,
Hmm.
we hope to have this settled quickly so that we can be moving again. Thank you for answering my questions.
Very well, no trouble. Thank you for the nuts. Set is on guard. Set is protective of me. Set wants to watch the door. Set will not talk.
So this has been missed the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yes, the whole time.
I see.
Just gonna get the sheet up so I'll pile it if you need to. Bear. Okay.
Okay.
Bean's gonna have to go and have a bath because her stomach is killing her. So
Oh,
yeah, I will pilot Tobias for a minute.
Oh jeez, all right. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm
okay.
really suffering. I'm trying to fight through it. I'm like, no, I just can't.
Okay. I will just get your character sheet if you're happy with me to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
If you,
Keep pressing the wrong button. Yeah,
I
I
know
got it.
you do. So I'm like,
I got it. I got it.
I was just checking you're getting the right one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Right, go and have a bath and chill.
Oh, but my stomach is making my entire body hurt.
Oh, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, so yeah, Nan kind of turns away from the two horses, and I guess you progress back towards Cramlin and Baku and Tobias.
Yeah, back to everyone. I'm going to not leave the stable area. I'm gonna kind of basically tell them everything that I've learned. Vol was here, but it seems that the knife was possibly taken, yes, before they entered the worm.
Murderer, not Vol.
We're not sure yet, but unlikely, I suppose.
You say Vol was here.
Yes, Vol is fond of the chestnut horse and has a good time learning how to ride, it seems, with Lenana.
And Lenana said no one came in,
I don't think so.
but Vol came in.
Yes, good point. Lenana is hiding something. Perhaps we should. Oh gosh, would anybody like to press Lenana?
Interrogate?
Yes, or similar. I don't know what the best approach is here. They're all
Squeeze.
squeeze. Well,
Squeeze.
maybe we try a few different things, and squeezing can be the last thing that we try.
Also, Tobias and I had quick look in Gnome's luggage. It fell open accidentally when Tobias accidentally opened it. It has sending stone.
Ah,
You talk, it's a way you talk with someone else many miles away.
I see.
So Gnome is prepared. Either Gnome uses magic or knows people who can. Gnome has secret communications,
Mm.
but don't know who's on the other end of it. So
Well, the gnome had
Also interrogate?
possibly, but we know the gnome had a letter,
the Gnome is a little bit dead for interrogating, no?
very dead.
Interrogate the rock.
Perhaps, yes.
I'll leave that to you, I think.
Yes. But
Do you
the
give
gnome,
Cramlin the rock in the blanket?
Cramlin just puts out a hand.
Okay, Baku just shakes Cramlin's hand and goes back to talking to Nan.
Pleased to meet you.
Very good, well done.
the gnome had a letter about taking over the train, right? And did we deduced that letter was likely on their person, like before
Mm.
they were
It was
murdered.
crumpled. It looked like something they were taking with them on the train. It was describing a group of people that wished to take an aggressive takeover of the train itself.
Is anybody very good at mimicking voices? Perhaps one of us could pose as the gnome and respond as the gnome to this.
Cramlin can impersonate.
Wow.
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 What about using your race feature, James? Well, it's up to you. Maybe we want to go somewhere else to.
Cramlin just makes like horse sounds for a while.
Would you like to talk? Is it okay if, I guess if you would, if you're happy to have Cramlin try to impersonate. Did you hear? Well, the gnome ordered a drink, so you would be able to say
then-
just the words that they said to you.
No, I'm pretty sure it works that you can say anything in that style.
I don't know.
You'd get an idea of an accent, wouldn't you? You'd maybe not be able to mimic their
Like complicated.
personality, but you'd be able to mimic their tone, certainly.
You don't want words of terror, babe. What you want
Don't
is
I?
well, not right now, maybe. Forgot that you were that kind of rogue, or bard. Yes, your mimicry. You can mimic sounds.
Sounds that I've heard.
The creature can tell these sounds are imitation with an insight check opposed by your deception check. So
I've got
yeah,
pretty
you have
high
to roll
deception.
when you try and do it.
Okay, yeah, cool. We'll roll against it when the
What
time
did
comes.
they order?
You
that's
asked them if they wanted worm wine. No, they wanted the fancy worm wine, didn't
The
they?
fancy.
They wanted the fancy wine, and Cramlin just kept forcing upon them worm wine
Yes.
until he reached right to the back, and found the what was a rather nice elven vintage.
Mm-hmm. Shall we go somewhere without prying ears? Perhaps just in the next passenger car to find out on the end.
Just squeeze.
Talk to the rock.
Talk to the rock.
Squeeze the rock with words.
Tobias will kind of follow along to wherever you go. Tobias, while you're kind of looking, we move to the other compartment. Is that what we're doing? Is that where you're heading to do this rock interrogation?
Yeah.
While they are doing that, if they don't notice, I'm going to go back towards Lanana.
Okay, cool. They turn that way and start walking that way. You walk towards Lanana. What happens, Baku?
I'm making sure they've gotten the doors potentially shut.
Yeah,
And
kind of
this
slides
time I'm getting more in Lanana's face. I'm
Okay.
going. So nobody comes in, but Blue Volman is in here. He's covered in hay. He's covered in straw. He sits on your horse, but you say no one comes in.
He's been in. Not on this journey. Like when we came from Gargamel. I don't know if he's been in here before. Like he may.
When was the last time Blue Volman was in here?
A week ago that I remember. Like when we loaded the horses last time. Vol was the chef. Vol was telling me about how much he loved horses on the platform. I let him in. I showed him how to mount onto set, and he just said he always wanted to ride.
Insight to see if I believe that?
Yeah, please do.
18.
It's spot on, everything she's saying.
So
Okay.
Vol just been like hasn't washed for like a week.
Yeah, the guy he's been making food has been covered in hay for 7 days.
Food and hygiene.
Me not like.
Remember, there was a time when the train didn't have Lenana on it, but Vol was on it.
And
yeah.
the horses were?
No, there was a time when you arrived at the platform, the crew were already boarded.
Right. Yes.
They were on board. So there's plenty of time for Vol to have been in this compartment without Lenana being in this compartment.
Okay. Okay, I'll lean you a bit closer to her and do a great big smile and so both hands on both shoulders. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. And then I'll
just as you're leaving, it's almost like that they can't say the words. They go, is Mayene okay?
Mayene? Yes. In the front, drinking some water, having breakfast, and yes. Okay. Worried, but okay.
You see this as soon as you say okay, the face changes, tension drops from the body. Oh good.
You know, Mayene?
Yeah, these are their horses.
Oh. You work for Mayene?
Work for is difficult. Is the bond of the houses. So we provide for the houses, especially in Chapar. And when they're betrothed, well, they normally have horses as part of the celebration, and these are they, and they are my duty to watch these for those two.
Okay. Well, Mayene is okay.
I'm very glad. Thank you.
You don't ask, but Quill is okay as well.
It's like, that's good too, but this is obvious. That is good also, and it's like a look of disgust, like disdain, just sheer like, yeah, chewing a bee, sort of. Yeah, Quill, that's good. That kind of vibe you get.
Okay. Look after these. Yes, thank you.
I'll see if I can calm them some more. Let me know if if anything happens.
Yes, of course. You're sure you want to stay here? Because all the others are in the front. There's a lock on the door. You're on your own.
These horses are my life. They're my duty. I'm sworn to them.
Okay. Okay. I don't know, but what if they all came here?
I suppose they could. There's not really a lock here. We could force the door shut, I suppose. But I know I'm not the killer. And right now, I'm pretty sure the horses aren't the killers. I'm not sure about you guys, but being in here alone without a possible killer seems better to me.
Okay. I leave you with your herd.
Plus, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Oh yes. What are your tricks?
She turns her hand over, and you see immediately like flowers start blooming on the palm of her hands, and then they kind of turn into like some kind of thorn blackberry type kind of plant. This, but more.
Okay. Would put someone off. Okay. Take care. Really. Take care.
I will.
Now go.
Beautiful. Then you go back into the other compartment. You find Tobias has got his hand inside the glass thing, just quietly, like looking like to one side, like not really hiding it, but certainly shying it with the shoulder like this, and is just sort of like tending to something, tending to the little object. Nan, what are you doing? And Cramlin, what is this? Is this the Cram Rock talk?
It's dice in my hand. But yes, Cramlin is looking at the rock and like practicing different voices, trying to remember which one was the posh thing.
Gnome voice.
No, posh gnome voice, which is quite hard to say.
I think
Because none of you have discovered her name, so I'm going to give you a little bit of info. Baka, you would have seen on that case the name of the individual as well. It is Markeren, Markeren.
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 Yeah, okay.
dead gnome.
Markeden.
I guess though, well, above table they'd probably be using code names, right? If they are planning. So anyway.
As I come in, I'll tear that name tag off the case and just hand it over to Nan.
Thank you. They won't be needing it, I suppose. That's a good point. This is the name of the gnome, Cramlin.
Code name.
Actual name,
Real
possibly.
name.
Don't know. A name they use. And as Cramlin practices, Nan will kind of pat them in a supportive way as they and help them practice.
Cramlin's really like
guidance.
frustrated, just like basically just doing Lenny impressions mostly.
No, that would be another different one. Try again. You get a D4 to your roll.
Yeah.
You get to add a D4 to your roll, whatever
Okay.
you roll for your deception.
How do I roll for deception?
So roll that dice, and then you've got a +6.
That is a 24.
Plus your D4.
No, that's not a
that's
D4.
not a D4.
That's a D8.
3. So that is a
27.
Yeah.
27.
What are you saying?
Oh, so Cramlin doesn't. Excuse me. The good wine, please. And then just listens to see what happens on the stone.
Okay.
You're alive?
Yes, that is the one.
People with you?
Not that wine, no.
Why are you talking like that then?
Very busy.
Okay. How does it go? You found any... How can I ask a question?
Cramlin is lifting up the rock so that other people can actually hear, because Cramlin doesn't have that many words for this this voice. You
Is
don't
there-
hear complaints.
Is there an easy way we can take out the ogre?
Yes, the good wine.
Is there much security?
No, not that one.
Do you think it can dig deep enough?
How much would I have to pay?
To our goal, of course.
Worm wine. Not good.
Okay. That puts a dampener on things. I'll get back to you.
How far? Cramlin kind of breaks voice a little bit there.
And goes, when you surface. When you surface.
Very good.
And the connection seems to go at that point from the stone.
Not very helpful, were they?
Well, I suppose we should be careful when we begin moving again.
Should stay underground.
Perhaps we should warn the ogre? The ogre?
That's
Yeah,
the driver.
Driver.
There's an ogre driver with metal plates on his face called Glunk.
Lung.
Glunk. Oh, I wrote his name as Gunk.
That's close enough. Do a little slip in pronunciation won't upset him too much. It's only an ogre.
It's pronounced glunk, not gunk. The L is pronounced.
Excuse me.
It's not a silent L.
Got a silent P in it as well.
Well done. You did a very good Genku. Like most people wouldn't, stick to just the Genku words that they know. Very good, very good. Well done. You did a good role play. Well done.
Cramlin eats a biscuit in celebration.
Cramlin definitely fishes out a biscuit.
Oh.
Where's that biscuit been? He does not know, but he eats it.
The use of the word fish, I don't like.
Yeah, because didn't you have like mayonnaise in there or something?
Oh, for sure. He's
know,
put quite a lot in his pockets.
Some
In his
other
front
things in
pocket.
there.
He's actually got good pockets.
Wasn't it beans? Like just beans poured
Yeah.
in.
And cheese on toast.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheese on toast is slices in there.
He just pushes out a piece of cheese on toast and just starts nibbling on it. It's cold. It's not good. It's got like cat biscuits stuck to it and
Well,
stuff.
to see how good it is. Oh,
It's pretty good.
it's actually all right. Yeah,
it's pretty good. That's a 15. That's really good cheese on toast. Got Worcestershire sauce. It was made by Lenny.
I quite like cheese on toast when it goes cold and it goes a bit rubbery, but that's
Yeah.
just me.
I do too.
Cramlin does.
Especially
too.
a bit of Worcester sauce, like vegan Worcester sauce.
Like
stuff.
it's permeated the entirety of the bread.
Oh, when it's like when it's soaked through the bread, but then it's dried a little bit.
Mm,
So yeah.
mm.
That's good stuff.
Should
Anyway,
we talk
game.
about-
Or glum.
what do you think, Neil? We're back. Who should we approach next? I suppose I wouldn't really feel confident saying Lenana is not the one that did it, but I suppose if we trust her, her knife was taken.
I have little word with Lenana just now.
What did you learn?
I think she's telling truth. Also, she likes Maine.
Sorry,
She likes Maine.
I see.
Likes Maine.
Ah,
And Quill, not so much.
Likes.
Big feathery air quotes.
Massive.
he just flaps
There's
his
just a
wings. It's
wha-
air quotes. I see. I wonder what would the gnome have to do with?
I don't know, I just think, we're on a train, on this worm carriage, and if the best I can do is give you gossip, I'm gonna give you gossip. Meanwhile, if the killer is not that way, then the killer is that way, and beyond the locked door, and with the ogre.
Gnome would kill ogre, but gnome dead.
So
Yes. Who was the letter from again, Pete?
The Algaric Conclave.
Algaric Conclave. And
mushroom people, secret mushroom people.
And Mayene,
yes.
also a
Yeah.
member.
Yes. I feel like player Eriol is kind of putting things together, but I don't know whether Nan is.
Okay.
13.
What if she's got a 15 intelligence? Maybe she's putting it together. She's gotten a lot smarter. So if there was going to be a heist, a robbery, a takeover of the worm train by this Algaric conclave, and Mayene knew, we don't know if she knew, but let's say that she maybe knew or had an idea. Either she, or maybe she found out and she didn't want to be kidnapped. Perhaps she would kill the gnome so that the enclave would not know when to attack the worm. That's one possibility.
Is worm robbery so bad?
I have no strong feelings on. Well, I would like to get to the destination that I would like to get to, but
Need
Yeah.
to find Nana.
Yes.
Nana,
all
I miss Nana.
I don't know who Nana is, but we should get Tobias to this Nana for sure.
Nana's friend.
Oh.
The stone voice person, did they say they were going to go Can we go deep enough?
Yes.
What's there?
I'm not familiar with the way that these new ways of travel,
The ways of the worm.
the ways of the worm. I'm not familiar with the ways. That should be like a cleric domain or like a
Way of the worm.
monk subclass.
Oh, yeah.
Um. I suppose they go rather deep, but I wouldn't. Is there a meaning to going deep, Pete? Is there deep heat?
Just stop.
You-
Just put a
you could-
sore neck.
I know deep
You
heat.
know a member of the Algaric Conclave that is alive.
Sorry,
You know a member of the Algaric Conclave. You could ask.
Maina,
Maine.
Maine, yeah. Perhaps we should talk to Vol, perhaps, and Maina again, and then
Oh, right.
what was that for, James?
That was James getting something. Mina's the elf, isn't
She's the wife
Yeah,
elf.
the wife elf.
Or the
Well,
woman now.
the woman elf.
Well, yes.
Well,
This is
Yeah.
what the best thing about playing in this group is, just the constant puns and everything. It just
wealth.
well,
Yeah,
Well.
she's the wealth.
he's the well.
She's the well. So we could also go back because now we know that she and Lamina have a thing.
Lenana, yeah.
Lamana, which is like banana but not.
Presumably, yeah. But like,
So we could either
likely.
go and interrogate Lamana again, knowing that she's part of the conclave, and maybe ask about the conclave, or we could go and confront her directly.
And I don't have great perception.
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of like, as Cramlin explains this in a very manly voice, suddenly
None of that was actually coming out. That was just Cramlin staying stock still, staring at you with those thoughts running through him.
Well, he is kind of a psychic bard, I guess. Kind of want to go back to the door as quietly as possible that Lenana is behind and kind of do a listen.
Yeah, of course. Roll for a perception, please. So you're trying to hear through a door. It's very quiet under the ground. It's that deadening feeling as well that you get when you're going a cave or tunnel.
Should I roll that again, James? It's on the side.
It's not on the side.
Oh
It's
no,
very
it did
clearly
land.
on a 16.
Okay. It was very close to the edge of the tray. Wait, hang on.
16 plus 2.
No, 16 plus 4.
4, there we go. Boom, 20.
Yes, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You hear the sounds of Lenana trying to calm the horses behind the door. You hear the kind of the hushing of these horses, and she's just saying, when talking to herself, and she says, "I know you put up with him, but we certainly don't want Quill back here. What a pig. Pig's too good for him."
I will quietly go back. I think you are very right, Baku. I think Quill is not well liked, and Maine is very well liked. Now just to see how it fits in. Cramlin.
Cramlin comes out of the truck.
Fall asleep for a second. Shall we go to Vol or Maine? What's the vibes, team?
Out of character? What do you want to do?
I think Cramlin would want to tell the ogre that someone wants
Glunk.
to kill him. Glunk.
Okay.
So,
We haven't talked to them yet, so
well,
Well-
Cramlin's talked to them, but
Oh.
they told him to go away again.
what about you, Nick?
Yeah, and not that Bucky's exactly an authority-loving guy, but no one's told Spin any of this stuff either. So, but I mostly Baku would want to go and have a word with Mayim at this point, I think.
I also want to talk to Maine particularly. I feel like Vol. I don't know, I've just got a feeling like it's not Vol anyway. But
Maybe Lenny will help.
maybe Lenny will help. Shall
Any
we
friend.
Cramlin, if you'd like to go talk to Glunk, do be careful how much you tell them, but warning them is probably a good idea.
Much to reveal?
Maybe you use your best judgment.
That's brilliant. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
What? Nan wouldn't tell anyone what to do, or she doesn't really like that. So
Cramlin just bolts down there.
like, just leans in the direction and starts running.
Forgetting that the door,
Aw.
forgetting that the door is locked at first, and stands up, unlocks, and then through the door. What's Ari, Cramlin? What's happening? As you run.
Lenny. Busy. Murder afoot.
Okay. Into the passenger compartment, through the passenger compartment to the main driving area of the train front, and you see Glunk is laying on the floor,
Oh.
and you see that Spin is sort of feet up, picking a nail. With like on a chair, feet up on a thing, and Glunk is on the floor near the patch where it opens up onto the worm. The floor where it opens up onto the worm, and he's just got his hands, and he's ever so gently like petting or stroking this giant beast through the hole in the ground.
Mr. Spin, Mr. Glunk.
Cramlin. Glunk just kind of rises.
More murder is maybe afoot on the worm.
The Worm Express.
Can I just confirm where everybody else is? Are you all holed up in the passenger compartment, or are you following through a Cram?
I feel like we would be making our way to Maine, maybe Baku. What do you think?
Yeah.
Cramlin can't get into too much trouble. I'm not sure where Tobias would want to go.
I think Tobias would kind of potter along, kind of just walking up and down the train. Is getting a bit like tired, like just. And any time for more food, maybe, and like hungry, maybe. Maybe he stops off at Lenny, and Lenny gives him something to eat. He's walking in with his little thing. Walks in, and you're in there, and sorry, Spin will sit up, stop picking a fingernail. Well, that doesn't sound like you've got very far with your investigations.
Went to the stables, came all the way back quite far, roughly 100 foot.
You have not really evolved your investigations, is what I mean, Cramlin. More
No,
murder is afoot. We don't want that. We want to put a stop to murdering on this train.
murders may still be afoot. We must put stop to it via the rock. Rock told me not for us to go up. We must go deeper. And uses the voice there.
Oh,
From the rock.
from the rock.
Interesting.
For no reason other than
that
to-
was a straight. Can you do that again, Cramlin?
Can you go
Just the
deeper?
Rocks say.
We'll have to go deeper,
We will have to go deeper.
or something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the exact words, but
You make a reasonable representation of the conversation you had. The one-sided questioning about is there defences on the train? Is there much security? And they recognise the voice.
The rock voice. The rock voice.
That is
oh,
someone talking through that rock. We were approached by a group called the Algaric Conclave. One of their members tried to hire the worm to go digging far deeper than has been dug before, or something like that they were going on about, and we told them the worm can't go where they wanted it to go.
Yes, yes, yes. The rock voice said down in the thing. They wish to take the worm. They want the worm.
But they shan't have it. It's
They
mine and
want
Glunk's.
Kill
One fair and
Glunk.
square. They
They
what?
kill Glunk.
Glunk, they are not going to come for you. Don't worry, Glunk.
When-
Looks as much as an ogre with faceplates on can look a bit scared. Kind of shies
We
away in the
cannot
corner.
surface. They wish to attack on the surface to kill Glunk. But maybe one would like to kill Glunk on the worm.
Okay. What do we do then? What do we do? How do we protect Glunk? Glunk's not a fighter. Glunk's a lover.
Give Glunk big knife.
All right.
Ask Lenny. He has knives.
Go and get some knives from Lenny. All right.
All of the knives. So Cramlin just turns around and just is going to go back and loot the kitchen to get
Okay.
any sharp.
We'll go back into the inner thing with Mayeen and Baku. Baku, May, and Tobias and Mayeen and the others are in there. What would you like to ask them?
ooh, good.
Uh,
Do you want to go for, yeah, if you've got
well,
some
I think Nan is further ahead with the thinking on this than Baku. So go ahead.
Indeed.
okay, you do have a way of, you know, getting people pressed. Maybe we do need to try and separate but this is before we go in, I guess. Maybe we do need to try and see if we can separate the two to try and get some honesty from either of them.
Oh, squeeze.
Possibly time for squeezing.
What? Okay. So, what do you want to find out?
I think we want to know if Mayeen has anything to do with the plans that the Algaric Conclave have to take over the worm, and what involvement Lenana might have that Mayeen knows of. And I think lastly it would be, did Mayeen wish harm on the gnome? When I insight checked Mayeen, she did seem panicked though, right? But she was kind of
Yeah, she seems
yeah.
like her weekend is ruined. She seems genuinely afraid and scared.
But it also might be because, you know, she's in on the whole plan and the plan went not good. So
You haven't questioned her about the conclave, so you couldn't get a read on that.
So,
Yeah, back to you. If you feel like you could ask similar those questions, I can. If things don't go very well, I have a spell that might help. I believe I can only do it once, but I could charm somebody too if we feel like it's not going great.
I will probably, as a
Elf won't
yes,
work.
well done, well
Won't
done.
work.
And you've been around elves, so you would know.
Yes. Oh, those pesky resistances.
Hey, folks.
okay, so I find there are two ways of doing this. We get Quill and Maine in different places.
I can squeeze Quill.
Tobias, okay. Tobias is good at squeezing. It is obvious that Tobias is good at squeezing.
Ha
I can go like this to people and they don't like it. You, well, you're nice, right? So,
Good cop, bad cop.
who do we have to talk to who? Do we think Quill needs questions too?
We haven't really questioned Quill, have we? I do believe he would need questioning, perhaps.
Question Lenny. Lenny, fine.
Hmm?
Lenny, okay. We questioned Lenny.
Yeah, Lenny, fine. We like Lenny. If it's Lenny,
Why, Iora?
ah, nice Lenny, just wants to cook.
Not Lenny.
Not Lenny. Who do you feel most confident that you might be able to wrangle information out of? I feel like Quinn seems to like being fawned over. I'm happy to fawn over them, should that be what's needed. I don't think being rough with them would work, but potentially.
Okay. Maybe if they're apart, maybe we say to Quill how sorry we are about how
Mhm.
much Maine likes Lenana,
Yes,
and we see what face Quill makes.
perhaps the horses are theirs. Perhaps we lead one of them towards that area, Maine or Quill, with a story about the horses needing one of them. Maine is of the horse. Maine is part of the horsey elves,
Yeah.
right?
She's part of the druidic forest carriers.
Was one of them part of the horsey elves?
So Enshapar is what
Yeah.
Quill is. Enshapar is the kind of law keepers and stuff.
Right, so neither of them were.
No, neither of them are part of Mar Pelathon.
Okay. Well, maybe she can be tempted towards the horses, or one of them can. Maybe we ask which one.
So, someone wants the gnome dead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the gnome dead is nothing to do with the worm.
It's possible.
Maybe the gnome gets found with Lenana's knife, and Lenana has to go away for a long time, and Lenana is nowhere near Maine anymore. Who likes that?
I understand. So trying to understand whether Quill knows this and has engineered a situation.
Hmm.
Okay. then let's see how let's try it out, see which one of them comes with us, and then whoever ends up staying with Quill or going with Quill presses him on that. I would encourage you to be with Quill. Maybe I can take Mayne out to she didn't eat much at breakfast. Perhaps I can tempt her out to take some food. I looked over her earlier, so perhaps she'll listen to me as a medicine. Okay, let's go in.
Just before we do this, I do one thing. Casting mage armor.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
wink.
And that kind of like ripple. How does that play out with you? How does that look when you cast that mage armor? Does it show? Does it just seamlessly blend with your current?
You can tell that I'm doing it when I'm doing it, but once it's done, it's not like it's visible, like I've had a change of clothing or anything like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sits seamlessly above all
your. There's a slight. If you caught the sun through it right, it would maybe look like, when it's really, really clear glass, but when it's at a certain angle, it just kind of shimmers a bit. There's a little bit of that to it.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. You walk into that compartment. You see them all looking to the left as they've seen, and you see like the tail feathers of Cramlin vanish into the other compartment, and as he's jogging into the driver's compartment, and you are there with a sleeping Vol, who was asleep up on the top bed, if you remember, and below is sat Mayne, and pacing back and forth in the middle, obviously stopped halfway through, is Quill.
Okay. Can I double check that Vol is asleep?
Perception, I guess, or you're going to go up and you can do a medicine if you wanted to.
I just kind of want to see if the breathing, because if they're pretending to be asleep.
I don't think you're going to need to make a check. As far as you can tell, it's the same sounds that Vol has been making while they were asleep. Yeah. However, plasmoid sleeps. I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out.
Settling into a pool.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Just like Odo from DS9. Just a bucket in a corner.
I love my bucket.
I'll approach Mayne, nod at Quill, just checking.
Any news?
Perhaps. I think Baku would like to perhaps have a word with you. I'm just going to check on Mayne and see if she would like to take some food, since she hasn't eaten much and I am concerned for her health. Mayne, would you come with me to the kitchen?
Yeah, I'll go. You're going to look after her, aren't you?
I wouldn't think of any. I wouldn't want any harm to come to her at all. No worries.
Sure. Okay. I'll allow it. Fine.
And it's genuine. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I stab her.
I knew it all along.
You with me.
Feed it to the worm.
Actually, that's a good point. It could be one of us that did it. Like, right? I mean, I don't know what secret conversations y'all have been having with Pete, James, Neil.
Nothing.
You
yes.
you walk Mayne through the compartment, and then when they leave, Tobias just will walk over and as soon as the door shuts, Tobias walks over and grabs Quill in a bear hug. Put me down, you arm squeeze.
So, Quill, I'm sorry.
What is wrong with this thing? Why is it what?
Oh, no. Many things will happen here, but the first thing is you do not call my friend this thing.
What does it want? What does he
What?
he want?
Better. Good, better. He wants to take care of you. Okay? He wants to keep you safe. Everyone wants to keep you safe. And he's going to keep you very nice and tight and safe until we all find out what's going on. Okay?
You see his muscles relax. Fine. What does
Also,
it want? What do you want?
The gnome.
Yes.
The gnome is dead with a knife. You know this.
Yes, a knife. I heard.
Yes, you've seen the knife, yes?
No.
I'm going to ask this one more time, because I did not say after he died. I mean ever, at all. Have you seen the knife?
Which knife?
Oh, good, good. Which knife do you think, Quill? Whose knife do you think it was?
I'm sure I have no idea.
Okay. With presumably Tobias's help, seeing as Tobias is bear hugging with his big
Intimidating.
teeth off the ground.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean right in and make like full-fledged intimidation
That
checks.
will be with definitely advantage because a barbarian Goliath is now grappling him.
Hard to avoid it, even if I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 d20s and then you take the highest.
Okay. So, Quill, your betrothed is very much liked by someone else on this train. You know that. You know who this other person is. It's that person's knife that ends up in the gnome. You see? You see why I think maybe you are a bit of a bad boy, Quill? You see? Uh, 17?
Linana, what of her? So I don't like her. The way she looks at Mayeen. She's mine.
And Lenana's knife is in the gnome.
I took her damn knife.
Ah.
I
When?
wanted her to mess up, not be able to treat the horses properly, and then we could get rid of her.
It's very good pointing with a Goliath barbarian holding you like that.
It's like this. It's just that. We could just get rid of her.
And another thing.
And just one more thing.
So, you take the knife. When?
At the train platform when she was all skittish about the city.
Why?
If she cannot care for our horses, if our horses aren't properly prepared, I have a jolly good reason to get rid of her from our being. We can get a new one from Mar Pelathon, and we no longer have to deal with her. I no longer have to look at her undressing Mayeen with her eyes.
Oh, this is good. This is all very good reason. Very believable. Now you explain to me how the knife gets from you into the gnome.
I don't know. I didn't have the knife. I didn't have the knife.
You did. You said you took the knife.
I took the knife. I did take the knife on the platform.
And?
When we came on board, I was foolishly looking at it. And the goblin recognized it not to be mine. Took it.
Oh, took it where? When did this happen? This happens in the train? No one else sees?
It before you climbed aboard, you were later onto the train.
I was behind your parasol, no?
I think you were behind the gnome. Didn't you go on behind the gnome? No.
Tobias was behind the gnome.
Tobias was behind the gnome.
Well, Tobias's terrarium was behind the gnome. Tobias got a face full of rocks.
They say when we were climbing aboard. Yes, they discovered it upon my pass, and in the night. All right. I was up. I had cast. I was looking it over and was doing his rounds and found it upon me.
Okay. Well, we'll see if he says the same thing, yes?
Be my guest. I don't care. Look, I didn't kill her.
Okay.
What reason do I wish to stab a gnome I don't even know?
You just gave me a very good reason yourself. Your reason for framing Horse Lady?
I didn't mean that you murdered someone. Dear God, man.
No, you don't mean it, but it's exactly the same story, yes? It's the same reason. That's why you might do it. I don't say you do it, but maybe. Anyway, all friends now, yes?
Put down.
Yes.
Put down on the bed. And he
Yes,
puts,
near the biscuit crumbs.
he puts them down, literally just, and very carefully kind of folds this elf's legs so they are in a sitting position before they get onto the bed. Yeah, and places them onto the bed. Well, good squeezing.
Okay. Quill, look. This is nothing personal. It's not that I don't like you. I mean, I don't like you, but that's not why we're doing this, okay?
Everything is mutual.
Yes, I'm sure. The thing is, however, Quill, I don't care. Now, we're going to find out who did this, and then that person, they're in trouble. People who lie to me, they're in trouble longer, okay? Remember.
He would just kind of like flick a biscuit crumb off the bed. Yes, it's you and Lenana. You and
Main.
Mayeen. Sorry, brain was that.
Do we want a break or anything? How have
Do we need a drink or something? Well, top up drinks quickly. We've got half hour before
We
we
could do
finish.
with like a hot. Have we got any decaf tea or any? No. Have we got any herbal tea? I'll have a herbal tea, I think.
Oh, let's have a quick break. I need a coffee top up too. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'll pause this quick.
Feed.
Sure.
Welcome back. We're recording. Yeah. So, you walk back through the cabin, Nan, with Mayeen. And Cramlin, I think Cramlin. No, Cramlin, you're up the front. It's just you and Mayeen.
Cramlin had gone to the front, and Cramlin is now back in the kitchen. Or was
No, the kitchen's.
So Cramlin was going to come back in
to the cabin.
to the cabin after probably your conversation, because you seem to have planned something way better than Cramlin has. Cramlin is on his way to get all the sharp objects.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are on the way to the kitchen. You've probably hit the kitchen by this point, Nan, with Mayeen on the offer of food and stuff.
Just a moment before we have some food, Mayeen. We're trying to find out more information here, and I've forgotten now what we really wanted to ask her. We want to we've maybe found out a few pieces of information where the knife was from, but we still are unsure who did this. But there is something we must ask you. What, and you really must be forthcoming with us. Did you just roll something, Pete? How dare you? It's so weird when the DM rolls. Please be forthcoming. We would like to know what your relationship to the Algaric conclave is, and whether you had plans.
The conclave?
Yes.
Well, we sometimes gather in the glades together, and share recipes sometimes,
And try to take over new transportation methods.
not that I know of. No, there's always the message of finding the root of things, digging deeper. And we do that through our practice. We try and study things carefully and observe everything we can and find and dig to the source. And the conclave encouraged, as a part of House Miala, we know about the plants, but they want us to look further into them. They want us to seek out the truths. And they use the metaphor dig deeper.
And was this why you were on this trip? Was that part of the reason why you were here?
I'm with my betrothed.
Yet you can have two reasons to be somewhere. It's possible.
No. This is just decided to holiday. To go. Tantalib sounded so interesting. I mean, and the big city, I mean, it still boggles the mind. There are so few trees.
So you're saying that you know nothing of this potential plot to take over this vehicle?
No. I thought we got free wine.
Okay. Can I do some kind of insight? Are they trying to be extra put on?
You can insight them.
Gosh, I feel like this isn't going to go well. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to go
7.
well. No. So an 8.
You read is as they are.
Well, nobody's going anywhere, so I mean, I believe you for now. But if you
What would
care,
I lie about?
sorry,
What would I have to lie about? I just want to go home. I want to ride my horse through the forests like we used to. I don't like any of this.
none of us like any of this, and everyone wants to get back. Your good friend Lenana included.
Oh, she's
And
so...
we wouldn't want anything bad to happen to Lenana. We wouldn't want
She's
her
so good to us.
to be caught up in any of this.
She always says how nice my hair is.
Okay.
And how my skin's soft. She likes my boots also.
That's lovely.
Do you like my boots?
Are they all right? What are they sturdy? Are they?
They're lovely, yeah, lovely.
Functional.
Elven riding boots.
They seem well fit for the purpose of riding. So yes. Gosh. Well, let's get you into the kitchen and get some nutrients in you. This has been.
What is that?
Oh. What is what? What is what?
In the sink.
Oh.
Drink. Oh my god. Why would you bring me in here? Why? Oh my god. Please take me away from this. I don't want to see that.
I hope you really did do that evil laugh when she started doing
I was just trying to think like, oh yeah, I guess Lenny wouldn't have like covered it over or anything.
Put a tea towel over it, but it's just like over the leg. And then there's just the rest of the dead body.
I had assumed that the kitchen was behind another door, like, but I guess it's just an open kitchen.
It's an open kind of galley type.
Saloon doors, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you kind of lead her in. The body is quite obvious, and then you will just go, grab a tea towel and just put it over the foot. Can I help you? Do you need some food at all? I couldn't eat. Get me out of here. I'm feeling quite faint.
Okay. I'm going. Where should I take her? I guess probably back to the cabin. It wouldn't make sense to take her all the way through and go to the passenger car. Let's just yes, let's leave this area. Very much forgotten about the body in the sink. Oh,
You turn round and nearly bump into Cramlin, who runs in and shouts,
Knives, sharp objects, give them to Cramlin.
Cramlin, maybe not right now.
Cramlin starts like just hoofing knives off like the magnetic things.
Cramlin, how am I going to make lunch?
Lenny must protect the ogre.
Of course we shall.
Arm yourself, Lenny. Cramlin hands Lenny a big spoon.
Things
Then he pulls
going
out a cleaver that he's got behind. I'll use this instead. Thanks, Cramlin.
Cramlin takes the spoon and then tries to take the knife.
Are we just let's just murder everyone on this train that isn't part of our party, and then we'll,
That would don't kill, not Lenny.
everyone. Then we will at the very least have killed the killer. Like process of like.
Just make really good animal handling checks and have your very own worm train.
Then we just ride the worm.
Yeah, and just put the bodies down the hatches.
But if
that
you
were
kill the
tickling
ogre,
worm.
that we don't know how to tickle a worm, and then we'll be
I'm sure we
stuck
can figure out how
underground.
to tickle a worm. I guess I'll take Melina back to the cabin and kind of reconvene with folks.
Reconvene with everyone.
Yes.
Was that Liana? You as you lead Mayne back in looking sick and feeling quite unwell. Quill goes, "Who was that? I'm sure it was her. She must have done it somehow. Look."
Oh, it's
It was
Linana.
her knife, wasn't it? She must have got her knife back, Baku.
Okay, listen. My big friend here will hold hands with you. In this room, I go and talk to Mr. Spin. Okay?
Reaches the hand round and holds Quill's hand whilst holding the terranium in his other hand. Quill, friend. And just holds him, and you go through into the other cabin. And
Okay.
you see.
As I'm heading off, I say over my shoulder to Nan and Cramlin as they're coming in. Quill says Spin. Quill admits he takes the horse knife. Quill says Spin took the knife from him. I'm going to talk to Spin.
Okay.
You want to come?
If Tobias is to stay here, maybe with these folks,
I'll watch them.
yeah.
I'll make sure no harm comes to Quill. And squeezes the hand a little bit too tight. Thank you, Tobias.
I've just I guess we can do this in character, like walking.
Cramlin is just holding all of the cutlery and it's like pointing it around at everything.
Cramlin, we're not in immediate danger. Please, there's been a murder as well. Please be careful with those. You'll lose an eye.
Dexterity save? No, dexterity. No, that's too cruel. You walk into the compartment and you find Spin kind of comfort. Looks like he's been trying to comfort Glunk. He'll be all right. We'll be fine. We've been through worse.
As we walk there, though, I kind of want to say about I don't know about Nain, whether she's involved. She seems oblivious to all the goings on. So whether I don't think she may have done it, but I'm not particularly confident she could have taken a knife and
Well,
partner.
pretty soon, we believe everybody.
Running out of suspects.
This is true.
Yes. Unless is someone else here we can't see.
Yes, that would be unfortunate.
Cramlin points a spoon around,
In the corner,
Yes.
just starts poking and
poking at corners and just like.
So yeah, you enter into that room and there's it's like it's all right, Clunk. We've been through worse. No, I know. You thought everything was going to change and it was all going to be better, but look, things will be better. We'll get this sorted. We'll get more security. No one can take her from you.
the worm, her,
Good worm.
because worm milk.
And wine.
Hmm?
Milk and wine and eggs.
Yeah, it'd have to be a lady. Well, would it have to be a lady? Anyway,
Worms can be many things.
Worms can be simultaneously both, I think.
interesting.
Well,
Um,
regular worms, I don't know. Anyway.
All of you, apart from the big one, what is it exactly that you what can I do for you now?
Mr. Spin,
Yes.
did
Mr.
you
Ragu. What's with the mister? Anyway. It's polite. I
Mr.
suppose.
Spin?
Spin.
Captain Spin? Dr. Spin? Spin.
No, just
Spin
spin.
doctor.
Just Spin. Okay, just Spin. Did you take a knife from a passenger yesterday?
I did indeed.
Which passenger?
From the posh, snotty one named Quill.
And what was this like that you took from him? How did it look?
It was clearly a knife that one of his degree should not have. It was a horse knife.
Mm-hmm. Good. And where is it now?
It was in the kitchen with all the other knives to be kept safe.
Okay. Because do you know where it went next?
No, I do not know where it went next.
It went into the gnome.
That was the knife used.
Yes. So you see now what you say and what Quill say is the same. It agrees. He had this. He took this knife. He stole it. He brought it onto the train. You took it from him. And then there is a gap from there to when it enters unknown.
Well, I just put it in with knives.
In the kitchen.
And yeah, the kitchen porter would see it, and suppose probably the chef Vol would have seen it. I put it in there. It's where we keep the knives. It's a safe place.
So Vol, Lenny, Cramlin, you. That is the people who can get into the kitchen, yes?
Yes, yeah, I suppose. Yes.
And Glunk, except Glunk is here, and if Glunk leaves, then the worm stops, yes? So
correct, yes.
Okay. So Cramlin, Lenny, Vol, you can get into the room with the knife that goes into the gnome. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And nobody else?
No one else would have a key. We are the crew.
And you would have noticed if a passenger goes in there anyway, yes?
Yes, yes. Well, we walk the train and check the train at night. That's how I found the knife.
Uh-huh. Okay. What do you think, Spin?
I don't know what to think. I want to protect this train at all costs. This Algaric conclave or whatever you spoke about from the letter. He read the letter when Vol and him were in the... Well, Vol translated the letter for them when they were in the room.
Mm.
They are getting more desperate to whatever ends they need. They are not going to... They will not take it from us.
At all costs, yes?
Yes, at all costs, of course, at all costs. But murdering passengers is not my style. I would accost them and not a murder. When I say at all costs, I mean would protect the train.
Protect the train from someone who might want to steal the train?
Yes. I've told all of my crew that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Everyone must look after it if they wish to. They, especially Lenny. Lenny loves the train. Lenny loves his job. Apart from him being a pot washer, I mean, Vol's spoken to me about how it very much like to leave, and he wants to go horse riding, apparently. Never heard of a more ridiculous thing.
No?
No.
Spin?
When he leaves, Lenny will be the chef, and Lenny will be happy. Lenny will have it all.
Spin, we are sitting in a wooden box tied to the back of a worm underneath a desert, and you have never heard anything more ridiculous than someone riding a horse.
A jelly riding a horse.
Whatever. Okay. Okay.
I think that's racist. Call them a jelly.
Okay.
Thanks. I think that's racist.
He will be just like, look, can be one of those. So you have 4 suspects finally left.
We still have many suspects. Nobody's being particularly forthcoming with us. Now, if you might have a better idea of who took the knife and who might want to put it inside of a gnome who was perhaps part of a wider scheme that you did not want to happen, perhaps it would be now the time to tell us, or to be included among those suspects.
I don't know. When I found it, then he was... I went into the kitchen. Lenny was there, doing the last of the washing up, doing the prep for the breakfast. I placed the knife in the drawer and I shut it and said, God, we must protect the train from all those who might come against it. Lenny nodded and agreed.
Lenny's very agreeable.
Lenny wouldn't be able to be a chef on the train if the train was taken over.
True.
And the train stopped being able to be a train.
Lenny, passion for cooking.
Passionate enough to
Good
kill a
breakfast.
gnome,
Can't eat gnome for breakfast.
but he was also trying to do something with the body.
Hide body.
Mhm.
In sink. For cleaning.
I think it's time we talk to Lenny a little bit more. What is Lenny
Big
It's a
hippo
gif.
folk.
Yeah.
Hippo folk.
Okay.
To the kitchen.
Shall we
To
do
the
that?
kitchen?
Baku, is there anything else you wanted to?
Spin, stay here, look after one another. We see what happens next. Okay.
I'm very quickly losing my patience with these folks aboard this worm train.
You
You
proceed.
see that I would be interested to see, because I don't have patience. Tobias, I can't tell. Cramlin, I'm not sure Cramlin knows enough of what is going on to be patient with it or not. You are patient. When the big dam goes, that's when the big flood happens. So, let's see.
You proceed to the kitchen, picking up Tobias along the way.
Is Bowl still in the cabin when we go
Bob
through?
seems to be still fast asleep, as far as you can tell. Maybe they've rolled over and moved slightly, but they're not really into this. They're just sort of absent at the moment, just tossing and turning the bed. They maybe like keep your voices down or something like that as you walk through the cabin. Picking up Tobias on the way, and you walk in, you see the body of the gnome in the sink, and you see Lenny at the far end prepping something.
Kent, before they go over, Cramlin sort of says to the group, "It's like, can't be Lenny. Lenny told me he did not kill."
Okay.
Everyone has said that so far. I don't think a person that has done it would say, "Ah, yes, that was me."
They might do.
That
You
would
have
be
not asked everyone.
Have we?
Did you kill the gnome?
So we should go through each of them. Ask directly, did you kill this gnome?
Honesty is often the best.
Tobias raises their hand.
Mm.
You killed
did.
him? I already asked you this, Tobias.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
I believe Tobias.
I also believe anyone who is 8 foot tall and standing next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see Lenny chopping something frantically at the end of the kitchen, as you've seen him preparing stuff before.
Bad news.
Stop referencing Simpsons, James. Too much. How do we want to do this?
I've got this.
Do you? Are you going to ask him whether he killed the gnome again? Yes, okay.
Cramlin does and steps forward towards Lenny.
Hold us back.
Hold back my boys.
Cramlin, as you step
What
forward,
is crap? Oh,
as you step forward, sorry, you do notice something different about the body. The towel over the body is more blood sodden.
What is he chopping?
Cramlin slows down and becomes slightly more stealthy. Has Lenny noticed that they've come back in?
They seem very intent on chopping up something very small.
Cramlin goes actually into full stealth.
Okay.
And
If Cramlin's going into full stealth and I notice, I will.
Of course you do, because the feathers go plop. And it's like that. Just proper Pink Panthering it across the.
he actually gets louder.
Don't give yourself disadvantage, James.
I've got quite high stealth.
Oh, you could still roll a 1 and it would be
Pretty good.
Okay, go on. You mean that's
Can you just bard sing, move very quietly as you
You haven't used any of your bard stuff.
Well, the only one which I wanted to use was being incredibly intimidating for no good reason.
What's Gift of Gab? You can reshape the memories of listeners in your immediate area. That's dangerous. Suggestion is really good. Suggestion,
Anyway.
you could say cast and then say like truth. Tell truth, maybe. I think you can only do one word with suggestion.
Well, anyway, Cramlin is now sneaking towards Lenny, and it would like to be trying to observe what Lenny's actually doing.
Okay. As you sneak closer, you kind of get an angle and you tiptoe up. You see Lenny seems to be dicing finely the upper shoulder, right shoulder of the gnome. But attached to this shoulder piece is a set of vile purple pink tentacles that are attached in some sort of parasitic growth from their shoulder, this mass on their shoulder, and he's finally chopping that up.
Do you want
That's
to
pretty
roll
gross.
stealth?
Oh,
Or-
yeah. Well,
Pete, do you want James to roll
Yeah,
stealth?
go on, yeah, stealth.
oop. Yeah, it's very good. It's a 27.
Well, they rolled a grand total of 2 on the dice, so no. This side. Yeah, they
Does
don't.
Cramlin know what this big purple growth thing is? 'Cause
You have
James,
seen nothing like it at all, ever.
As I, if I'm gonna approach, which I would, if I see Cramlin stealthing, I will try and also stealth.
Mhm.
And then maybe, I mean, I might have seen something like this, maybe in some horrible caves very early on in some adventures. Who knows?
Mhm.
I'll stealth, shall I? Oh,
You're better at stealth than me.
no, I don't. Wait, hang on. What's 8 plus 6?
14.
So 20. Hang on.
Why are you saying 8 plus?
Because there's an 18 and I do the other numbers. I don't
It's
know
24.
how to add. I did. It's 20. Thanks, James. It's too late for that.
Yeah, you sneak up and you've seen something very similar to this.
Is it familiar?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Does it look crystally in nature? Like gross crystally?
There's something about it's the way it shimmers, Nan.
Oh. Like crystally? Like
It's not crystalline, but you can see it within it. You have
Right.
seen this before in a less evolved state on an individual named Darvel.
Oh, right.
A growth.
Right. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I remember. Okay. And it was going to kill Darvel, and we had to do, sorry, this is me trying to remember all the stuff. Didn't we have to do some kind of check to kind of stop Darvel from going bananas or something like mad?
Arden actually removed some crystal not from Darvel, but from the son, the boy, Nanjala's child.
Yes.
So is the crystally weird
But if
growth on the flesh of
The
the
gnome.
gnome? So why would Lenny be cutting it off?
I mean, he might also, if he's touched it, which he touched the body, he also might have gotten infected. If you touch the crystals, it's bad news if you don't like do a whiz save. So that's possible. It's possible that this is somewhat planned. All that I know is crystal bad.
Crystal bad.
Crystally stuff bad. And
Are
I'm
you going
trying
to tell Cramlin that crystally stuff is bad?
and I think
Right
Darvel was like,
behind a GIF at this point, so how you convey this is going to be interesting.
sorry?
You're right behind this GIF. You've had to get quite close to get this angle on it.
Yeah, and this is not stuff that I'm saying out loud to you.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna give like recognizing visually what this is. I'm gonna sort of tap Cramlin in kind of mouth, like Danger.
Conk.
Like, okay, you're not looking at me, so you don't see my mouth danger. Do you look at me
Yes.
if I touch you? Okay. These are the things we have to clarify when Cramlin is playing with us.
Cramlin's eyes are on the side of his head.
He's looking backwards at me.
Just one moves.
And I will also look back towards Baku and Tobias and kind of mouth. Not good. Like,
Okay, Tobias will try and draw their weapon stealthily. Let's see. I think they actually did all right. Yeah, they did. And carefully puts the geranium down in another place, safe, and then gives you the kind of nod, Nan.
Uh-huh. So you can.
When you say weapon, what as
I've just said that, and I have no idea
Okay.
what Bean has answered.
Because of the axe, right? Or is it?
It's a hand axe and then a secondary hand axe like this.
So James, let me just explain some things. If you go back Bardic Inspiration, you can just
It's bonus action.
you can give, but it doesn't have to be in combat. You can do that anytime, but you still have to speak to be able to give it. Cunning action is pretty good. You can do you could try and take the cleaver off of with fast action or something like that. Most of these are words of terror and things like that are useful for a battle.
I think what Cramlin's going to try and do is distract Lenny so that we can make either a retreat or make it seem like we just came in. Because he's going to see us.
He is, but we could probably remove we can't be discussing this. You do what you want to do. It's metagaming to discuss it.
Okay.
You do what you think is best.
What does Baku do at this moment? So Nan's kind of mouths at you, danger.
Yeah, so I've noticed Tobias drawing. So all I can see is Lenny apparently doing, from where I am, apparently doing some very important cookery.
Yes.
And
vital cookery.
And there's a lot of more blood on the gnome than there was previously.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know anything about purpley crystalline things, but I'm assuming that Lenny is now chopping up the gnome, and Lenny is some kind of mad gnome hippo cannibal dude.
That's a beautiful sentence.
He's also a very big lad with access to knives. So I'm inclined to stay, and I'm a very small lad with access to fire. So I'm inclined to stay right at this end of the carriage and be prepared to spell sling at him if necessary.
Okay. So you're kind of readying there.
Yeah. If I can, ready is what that means, clearly, in short. But I want to make sure that I'm not in Tobias's way, because Tobias looks like he's more of an up close and personal type. So I'll make sure I'm off to one side, so they've got a run if they want it.
The space is there for them to do so. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Cram, what are we doing?
Cramlin kind of accepts the look from Nan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot your name.
That's okay.
And
it's written.
I know it's there. And raises a spoon in his hand. Well, his feathery hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then starts pushing
on the face bag or something.
And then is what Cramlin is going to try and do is get away now from this giant thing who he is directly behind by throwing the spoon over into the top corner to make a sound, and is then going to kind of do a sort of very actually quite athletic roll back towards the thing, the door.
Doors. Yeah.
And try and get Nan to come with him at the same time.
Okay.
So we're out of harm's way.
I'm going to just.
Nan is not going to go with you.
Okay. It'll all be covered with an athletics check to see if you can get back. Acrobatics check if you're going to be kind of flipping and rolling and stuff. So you throw the thing, and then you'll do an athletics. I'm going to say one roll to cover the
Hang
lot.
on, you need to scroll up. Acrobatics is +7, Jim.
That is 9 plus 7, which is 16.
Yeah, flies off, tink, clanks in the wall, and the gift and then begins to turn round, and you kind of roll back, and then he's like looks down, and there's Nan right in front of him.
I want to try and disarm him of the cleaver.
Okay, so it's going to be surprise. I'm going to let you get this as a surprise round. You're right up there, Nan. You have surprised him. You snuck up on him and done everything that you need to do so. So can you make a? So it's an attack, but you're going to roll at disadvantage because you are making an aimed attack to disarm. I think is that what you're doing?
I don't know what the rules are for trying to disarm. I guess it would just be my unarmed strike, but
I think you roll with disadvantage because you're doing it as a disarming. Disarming. That's with them. I'm just gonna check it.
yeah, it's not really something that, unless it's part of your class features.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Fighters and stuff.
So when you do a weapon techniques, but that's superiority. How does disarming work in D&D? Opposed strength check
Interesting.
can be done by a player versus opposed strength check or dexterity check, DM's choice. The DM may make it athletics challenge, custom disarming as sees fit. Only Battlemaster's fighters. Yeah, Battlemaster has the thing, but okay. So you can make it as a dex versus dex. You can kind of quickly try to whip it out of his hand.
I'm trying to like knock it out of his hand, probably not in Cramlin's direction, but in a direction.
Sure.
Well,
Okay.
first any direction, but
Sure. Let's do a contested dex versus the gifts dex, which is going to be interesting because I don't think it's going to be very dexterous.
oh, I didn't roll very good, so
I'll blast this.
he has to beat a 9.
Has to beat a 9. Let's see if I'll just roll. He does beat a 9. You thump his hand and try and knock it away. Just hold on. Whoa! What you hit me? What's going on?
Drop.
What's happening here? What?
Drop the knife. Drop the cleaver now.
No, it's my cleaver.
Put it down.
What is this, Cramlin?
Cramlin tries to do. Where's the speaky truthy thing?
Oh, what's
Command?
the thing? Oh, the suggestion.
Yeah.
So in your spells, if you scroll down, so suggestion is you could cast that at 2nd level. It takes an action. So if Pete would let you.
Yeah, this is a surprise round. You've all got one free thing to do while Lenny is surprised.
So a couple of things, James. This you can suggest a course of activity. So just one course of activity. It can't be something like to harm itself. It kind of automatically fails. So think of like a phrase. It's a whiz 14 save, Pete, and you're concentrating on it now. So if you I don't think you've got other spells that you do concentration on, but if you get hit, you have to roll a concentration check.
Okay. Well, Cramlin basically just go, truth, Lenny. And that is somehow a spell. He concentrates really hard and like forces this will of truth at Lenny in his weird.
I've been truthful all along, Cramlin. What do you mean, truth? Truth is I'm a chef at heart. I've always been a chef. I've always wanted to be a chef.
Did you
But
take
always everybody said with these hands I could never cut finely enough. Well, look at that! And he turns around and gestures to his thing, and there's this beautifully carpaccioed like tentacle on the thing. It's beautiful, wafer thin.
Very nice, Lenny.
Be nice.
He says, "What truth do you want?"
Why is gnome in sync? Why is gnome crystal?
What chopped? Why is no-
Chopped. Why chop gnome?
You don't know that he took the knife was in the kitchen,
No.
do you? Okay.
But why chop gnome?
Yeah.
I guess you could ask him a question. as
Just
well.
chop gnome, stab gnome.
Why stab gnome?
Could smell it on her. Could smell it, sense it, like we're drawn to one another.
If I'm that close, does Lenny look obviously crystalled in any way? Are there any like obvious bulges in
Or
clothing?
make a perception check now you said that.
Oh gosh, it's 9s all round on the die. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
You notice something strange about his. Actually, now he's getting more angry, more about his face. Like, you see, like the skin is like not right.
I'm going to, if he's got his attention focused on Cramlin answering questions.
Yeah, Cramlin's just like basically just going, "Why, Lenny?"
And he's just like, "Because I could smell it on him. Another one of us. But I wanted this."
I tell me if this is cheeky, Pete, and whether or not this would be like too much, but like I guess I would disengage to move back. But if I can't disengage to move back because we're in action round
Economy. You would have. What would you would have your action? So no, you couldn't disengage at this point no,
Okay.
without getting a free swipe.
I will, because I'm up at close, I will not be pulling out my bow. I will kind of be going for my short sword at the very least.
Okay, cool. So that's your free action to draw your weapon. Okay. And Baku, you've got a surprise here. You've got the drop on this one.
Okay, I have absolutely no idea why people.
No.
So okay, he's making gnome sushi, but as far as I know, hold on. He just said that he stabbed the gnome, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's enough. Yeah, that's enough. Is that enough to on a surprise,
You get a whole action. So
which could is that I could cast but not move, or move but not cast, or is it something like that?
I would let you move. Some of you move. Yeah, your movement and then cast. I think for the surprise.
Okay.
The distance isn't far anyway between this space.
Okay. He's standing next to someone I like with a knife, refusing to put it down. He has said that he's killed the guy, and with my temper, he's getting it. Yeah. Okay. Casting in that case.
Go for it. Yeah. Tell me what you got.
We're in a kitchen full of
No.
no, in kitchen full of implements and bowls and
Yeah, shitloads of stuff.
heavy duty multi people cookware, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Le Creusier. Are you going to fling a Le Creusier at the
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing we've got in our house.
Right.
Yeah.
So as a 3rd level spell, I'm going to cast Catapult, and it's a great big metal cooking bowl at Lenny here, preferably.
Sure. Go
Catapult.
for it.
He gets to make a
Save?
dex save 15.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah. Oh no. Doesn't make it. It
Oh.
slams into the face of Lenny.
Okay. I did that as a 3rd level.
What sound does it make?
Tell
me what the damage is.
19.
Okay. This
I presume
giant
it's-
pot flies across the room, and where you expect it to like smash into the bony form of this hippo skull or snout, it goes in and
Oh.
indents and then kind of drops out to the floor, and the face begins to sort of expand back out to the original shape,
The thing.
and then where there's a split down the center, Tobias needs to take his free action quickly. Tobias will throw one of his axes, just help him. Actually, he might throw. Tobias might go, oh, throw both axes because he gets 2 attacks. I think Tobias would be very, very, very not happy about this situation. Seeing that as Baku does it. Sorry, I've got to get the sheet up. They throw once with a 16 plus 8. Yeah, that hit. I'm just going to roll both hits and then see if both of them hit on this one. And they both hit. Yeah. And he just lobs 2 axes, and they slice down what seem like slice in, and they kind of drop to the floor. But it's like someone has cut through a bag of rice pudding. Is the best way to describe this situation. And as the axes go in, they deal some damage. I'm going to just roll these on D&D Beyond because it's just going to be easier. Oh, he says that, and D&D Beyond's decided not to do it. Okay, fine. Viewing a live page. Thank you. But that's not what I want you to do. I want you to roll a dice. 1. So that's 10. And then again. 10. 8, 18. And slashes down through this being's form. And then Lenny kind of looks down and looks back up. And then immediately where every one of those splits are, Lenny peels apart. And what you see is great big pink writhing tentacles emerge out from inside of Lenny, and the Lenny skin peels back and drops to the floor as a sort of skin bag and drops down, and this creature with 4 great tentacles is standing at the far end of this kitchen like disgusting. And it's very late. How are we feeling? Yeah.
I definitely need a sleep.
Sure, no worries. Let's stop there at that point where we will roll for initiative at the next beginning of the next session, and you can defeat the terror that lies before you. Well done, everyone, for
Terror of Lenny.
Well, Lenny touched the body, and I wonder if he was like that before. Oh, FYI, above table, the pink crystal things are, we suspect, sort of weird space crystals that give you like the worst trip of your life if you touch them and fail a save, and like cosmic horror level, infectious. There's maybe a cult involved with the crystal stuff that we haven't figured out stuff to do with.
Oh, there's always a cult.
But they're like pink crystals, and if you have been around them too long, you get like these kind of tumory type stuff happen on you if you're a humanoid that usually have crystals embedded in them.
Nice.
Yeah, but you fully go like super brain in sorry, is that a terrible thing to say, super brain?
Super brain.
Yeah, your brain just goes soupy.
Oh, I thought you meant super.
I thought you meant like, yeah.
No, soup goes to soup.
Yeah, the
Turn
classic
into
film
soup.
Megamind.
Yeah. They're bad things, and that's why Nan fears them. This moment of terror is fear is quite genuine, I think, with Nan at this moment.
Yeah, these things are fucked up.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you for playing. That was great.
Although I think the rest of the crew wanted to like use them in they all wanted to like harness all the power, and so I was like, no, it's bad. Can I use it for spellcast focus? Why?
But, yeah, that was like Diaz and Celia were just like, yeah, we'll do that.